welcome into more Ticket to Ride here on the Sorcerer Network. My name is Sorcerer Matt. Excuse me. So usually, I'm into the Vegas, New York thing, but the rest of these tickets are awful with that. And so we have two routes out of Winnipeg, so that seems to make sense. And then, really, I guess I'm acting like this is a super tough decision. This is the decision. This is the clear decision. Pretty. These are nice routes, to be honest with you. 10, 8, and 11. Like those aren't the two double digits are nice. The big route probably that we want to prioritize is Sault Ste. Marie to Duluth. But obviously we're going to go across here, and then probably just up. But getting Santa Fe to Oklahoma City to Little Rock, and getting Winnipeg to Duluth to Sault Ste. Marie. I know I could go Winnipeg to Sault Ste. Marie just straight up, but I don't know. I don't think that that's the direction we want to go. So we've got to come down anyway. So I don't know. It seems easier to just go Winnipeg to Duluth and Sault Ste. Marie to Duluth. So obviously black, we want to go Winnipeg to Duluth. So I might try to see if this yellow's here. I'll probably grab it so I can get the triple. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Weird set of opening tickets. Of course, someone grabs the yellow. That's fine. It's not like Sault Ste. Marie to Duluth is the most popular, so I'm not like super concerned about it. But again, Sault Ste. Marie is kind of a sneaky route that people will sometimes grab because there's really only two good routes in and out of Sault Ste. Marie. So okay, there's the 3 orange. Happy to grab Sault Ste. Marie Duluth, even if there's black on board. I've already got 2. I don't need to worry about it. Okay. There we go. Very nice. All right. Now, honestly, probably with the 2 yellow, I just go Oklahoma City to Little Rock here. Okay, if there's a black, I should take that. But I'm not going to be as worried about this stuff down the middle. I think I can kind of, I don't want to say wait on it. I don't want to dawdle on it, but it's just not as big of a deal. We can kind of work our way through it a little bit. So I'm happy to grab this though, because just I see green here with Nashville to Atlanta. It's possible that green could want to come this way. It is nice right now that everyone seems very East Coast centered. The one thing about my position is I think that it has the potential to turn into a really nice kind of northwest, maybe northwest western type game. And if I can just at this point with where where blue and now green, where all 3 of my opponents are, this is pretty nice. So kind of what I can do here is, maybe I do just grab the stuff down the middle, or I think I just kind of grab stuff off the top, looking for blue and black, and then at some point here I'll draw, and hopefully we can kind of have some stuff loaded and ready to go. We could draw now if we really wanted to. I'd like to get a couple of things solidified here. That's helpful. But yeah, this is great that like blue and green, and now and to a point even red, I think, is going to have to figure out. They're having to play a little bit more aggressively on the East Coast because of everything that's going on here, where they're getting in each other's way. And that's what you want as in this game. You want your opponents to get in each other's way. Okay. Oh. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Because red's trying to... Oh, my goodness. This is fantastic. All right. Black, yes. And then I don't even mind this red here. It's totally fine. Really, the only bummer is if we don't hit tickets that are... Because really what this is telling me is outside of maybe like getting into Chicago, getting into the rest of this is going to be, we're pretty much not getting into Atlanta. Goodbye. So it just, but at least we know, and we don't like convince ourselves like, oh no, we probably could, because, never done that in this game. Oh goodness! Hey, I was trying to switch this up here. If you're enjoying all the Ticket to Ride content, hit that subscribe button. If there's, I'm gonna get. I've been really digging the Mega expansion. It's my favorite. And so I've been playing that a lot, but I am planning on doing some more Europe and Switzerland and other stuff like that. I know that people have been requesting that. It's great. It's great. I am loving making this content. So now, yes, this is great. A battle on the East Coast, but not for me. It's that ambulance meme, call an ambulance, but not for me. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty excellent here. Yeah, I'm going to draw tickets here now. The other excellent thing about this is that means my opponents are not sitting on anything huge. At least, I don't think they are right now. So, I shouldn't say that. So this is where, like, man, like Seattle to New York would be awesome, but I mean, I guess getting into New York isn't that bad. Or do I just go the easy route? Okay, I'm definitely not doing any Atlanta things, so those two are out. But I could just grab Salt Lake City to Kansas City and just say, you know what? This is kind of against of what I do, and maybe the incorrect thing. But here's my reasoning. This is going to be pretty easy to get. I'm not going to have many issues getting it. Whereas I was going to immediately have to grab New York to Pittsburgh. Then I was going to have to get either orange or black. I was going to have to use my red to go Duluth to Chicago. And then I also have to get all the way out to Seattle. Whereas with this plan, I already have this. This is done. And I do think that while I don't want to... like rush this middle. I also don't want to be too cavalier with it, so to speak. Especially this one, Omaha to Kansas City. But this is what you want to see here. My opponent's battling it out for positioning. Ooh-wee. You love to see it. Oh, okay. Well, that is interesting. That is very interesting. So I think I go ahead and do this. And honestly, I probably just spend a wild. I've got 3 of them. There's no reason for me to hang on to a bunch of this. But yeah, I'm liking all this middle of the map stuff. This is really great. yeah, I wouldn't mind expanding somewhat to the West Coast here. Again, that's what I'm looking for. All right, I feel pretty comfortable doing this. We've hooked up everything once we get Duluth to Omaha and Oklahoma City to Kansas City. I don't think I really need to go gun-ho here, though it is interesting. Both blue and red have now... Oh. Okay. Both blue and red. My goodness. Colors are hard. Both blue and green are over in this area now. So maybe that gives me less of a, hey, I want to get over into, like... Okay, so definitely like Kansas City to Houston. But do I like Los Angeles to Chicago better than I like Vancouver to Denver? Just based on this board, I think the answer is yes. I mean, outside of the fact that it's also more points. Los Angeles to Calgary, I think, is a little too much. Well, maybe not. I mean, I guess if I'm hooking up Los Angeles... I guess here's what worries me. Blue is what worries me. Because, so this is, I'm not going to do Los Angeles to Calgary because blue, I think, is heading up this way, and I want to stay out of blue's way. I'm happy to focus my efforts down in the south, what direction is this? Southwest. Ooh, man. Oh, okay. So I think that what I want to do is spend a wild to go Los Angeles to Phoenix because people are starting to draw tickets. So I don't want people to draw them and then go, oh, look at this. The other thing that I'm seeing here now is I don't really need to go through the middle of the map here. I could just connect Santa Fe and Denver, which I might end up doing. I'm very curious. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I was afraid of with going up to Calgary. So, I think we can just draw off the top here, because now we're looking at Phoenix to Santa Fe to Denver, and then if we can go Little Rock to St. Louis to Chicago, and then hook up Duluth to Omaha... I don't know. We got options. We got options. Though I do think hooking up Santa Fe and Denver is probably not the worst idea. I mean, it's 6 to 1, half dozen to another. There's, I don't really necessarily see an advantage one way or another. I'm not going for longest train by any means. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You know what's really great? What's really, really great is when your decision is validated by what happens. and gosh dang it, I love it when that happens. Delightful. So we're going to grab Phoenix to Santa Fe here. This was the right call. I've had very little resistance. No one has even sniffed around here. Whereas now, not only did blue and green have to battle over in the Northeast, they also now have to battle in the Northwest. Meanwhile, I'm just hanging out in the middle of America, and for those of you that are international, not much happens in the middle of America. There's some really cool places, don't get me wrong. Oh, that's interesting. But there's also a lot of nothing. There's also a lot of nothing. And I'll probably catch some flack for that, for those of you that live in those states. But so be it. I drove from Michigan, which is, for, again, people that do not know U.S. geography, that's over here. This is the state of Michigan, the one surrounded by the lakes. We drove all the way out to here, to Yellowstone National Park, which is beautiful, by the way, if you ever get a chance to go out there. Drove all through that, and this part of the drive was the through, Iowa and Nebraska, not as interesting as you might think. But again, still some very cool places in the middle of the US. There's just a lot of not really cool spaces. So getting back to the game now, based on where everyone is in trains, I now want to focus on getting everything hooked up. So the good news is we're very close to doing so. Uh, you know, we it's it, we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine. Okay. It's funny because we can hook up like our bottom little thing, either Denver to Santa Fe, or Kansas City to Oklahoma City, or St. Louis to Little Rock. It's very funny that we have this many options, and it's not usually what we have. Usually it's like one or two, but all right. I think I'm gonna do this as a defensive play because I guess I do need to grab St. Louis to Little Rock now that I'm looking at this. Uh, because I don't want anyone. Santa Fe is a very popular route, and I don't want anyone getting any ideas that, oh yeah, this is all open. No worries. No, don't love you keeping 3 destinations. Sneakily, kind of didn't realize this because I was talking about driving through the Midwest. But, and I also need to get down to Houston here, which, fine, not that big of an issue. So we just need a couple more pairs, which we have, we have the power to get, especially because we have this wild and it's to the point that we can just use it. I'm not concerned. I probably waited too long on Dallas to Houston, but I was just, I don't know. This sounds bad, but just not really, it just didn't really care. I didn't think that's where my efforts needed to be focused. So yeah, I think we just get what we need to get at this point. Because what we don't want to have happen is we goof things up and don't complete our routes, because especially blue is looking like they might want to end this game, and honestly rightfully so. Blue has longest train. I guess, well, maybe green does too. Green is going to fight him for it. Okay. Yep. And blue probably has what? Yeah. Ooh, that was a little too close for comfort in not completing all of the tickets. Now, I also am a little bit upset at that because I kind of wanted to draw a little bit more. I want to get a little bit closer in tickets to red, but also red is so behind on how many trains they've used. Like 12 trains left is a lot. Okay, so red misses one of them. Let's see here. So red, classic East Coast game. All right, so blue hits all their tickets, but as of right now, okay, yeah, I figured one, okay, so they had 2 big ones and then some small ones. Yeah, red. Man, colors are hard, man. All right, yeah, green, whoa, green, look at you. So really, the downfall here is that, yeah, I needed one more ticket draw, I think, because unfortunately, I was kind of counting on a little bit of a bonus there. Um, this this game didn't feel like a last place game, and yet here I am in last. I mean, probably pretty clear of how this happened. Where our tickets are fine, whereas, and this is also why Red uh, didn't got third, but I mean, Green's tickets were dynamite, and Blue's tickets. I mean, two of the top scoring ones in the game. Plus, they were able to get a lot of big routes. Yeah, Red just didn't have anything going on there. All right, let's take a look at some stats here. So it was interesting that we really didn't have that much more. I kind of dog on the East Coast of going like, oh, it's such small routes. We only had 5 more points. Now, granted, we had uh, 4 less tickets, or we completed 3 less tickets, but still, like we were closer to an East Coast game than you might think. Uh, Interesting. This is if you've watched the channel, you know that usually it's the person who is in first or second or something like that is the one that has the least amount of draws the least amount of train cards. It was actually Blue that was the one that drew the most and got first, pretty handily, by the way. Blue collected all visible train cards. Sorry, I was looking at here. He did not collect any visible locomotives. So he took mostly visible, as did the first place person. Third place was even, and then we, of course, were a little bit skewed on the hidden, which we tend to do. And then, yeah, this is another big one that caused Blue to win. So yeah, I don't know. That just didn't feel like a last place game. I don't know if again, I would have liked more ticket draws, but we made the right call with Calgary, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I think we just needed more ticket draws, and I think because there was plenty that we could get. There's plenty there. We get Duluth to Dallas was in there. Los Angeles to Oklahoma City would have been great. Even Denver to El Paso would have been nice. Chicago to Santa Fe was in there. There was a bunch of through the middle routes that would have been fine. So I just think we needed more time, and Blue just played a really good game. So, all right, well, as I said before, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and we'll see you next time.